You know, not everyone is as cool as me. And certainly not everyone is a cold-blooded killer, like I occasionally am. But you'd be surprised how many characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have taken a life, especially since most of them don't have one to begin with. Hi there, I'm Yami Yugi, and this December I'm running down a list of my best murders, as 'tis the season according to everyone's favorite Christmas film, Gremlins. You thought I was gonna say Die Hard, didn't you? I wish that whole debate would die hard. Why do people even argue about it? You could show that movie at any time of year and it would be both appropriate and fun. You're gonna pigeonhole it. Bruce Willis didn't climb through a bunch of vents and then cut up his feet for your sins, so you could exclusively talk about whether it was snowing when he did it or not. Today we're gonna talk about an honorable mention, a kill I can't take credit for, because even though I'm king of games, that doesn't mean I have to hog all the glory, just the maximum amount of glory possible without looking like a Seto Kaiba level douche, which is still the lion's share of the glory, of course, but much like a lion, I am known for my beautiful mane of hair and also letting other members of my pride be featured in direct-to-video sequels. Back in the day when children's card games hadn't been properly established yet, most of the games I got wrapped up in tended to be of my own devising. But this game in particular was a tournament of death that Seto Kaiba creatively named Death Tea. Genius-level intellect at work there. Yugi and his friends got stuck in these Battle Hunger Royale games, where armed only with their wits, they had to overcome differing levels of deadly challenges, and also put up with a small child named Joji, who unfortunately came with the plot. If I could choose to murder any character that didn't make my list, it would be Joji. At one point, Joey finds himself in a circular room chained to a post, along with a serial killer named Chopman. Chopman is your typical Jason Voorhees Splatterhouse type knockoff. Big hulking guy, mask, you know the drill. Except in this case, the drill is a chainsaw. Something to note is that Seto Kaiba hired Chopman to work for him in this context, having heard of him after the guy murdered 10 Boy Scouts. Hell of a resume. Can see why Kaiba would want him on his payroll. Feels like it's pulled straight from today's headlines. Video game developer lays off hundreds, hires masked serial killer to bring some new ideas to the table. Wouldn't surprise me if he tried to rebrand it to Kaiba Corpse. Anyways, the rules to his particular game are, according to Kaiba himself, pick a weapon and fight to the death. Gotta hand it to him, seems like a pretty fun game for all ages. And really, if the instructions were any more complicated, I'm not sure Joey would be able to remember them. Chopman demonstrates why hiring him was the right move by swinging his chainsaw at random, which would likely be enough to contend with his usual crop of weed-smoking, premarital sex-having victims. But unfortunately for him, he's up against Joey, a guy who has, at worst, smoked some bacon on a George Foreman grill. Yes, it's a butcher, a babe here, and a candlestick take here, as Joey removes one of the candles from its spot on the wall and reveals a spike that conveniently allows him to escape his shackles and also light the entire room on fire as he makes his escape. And Chopman burns to death just off screen, saving Kaiba the effort of having to put together a severance package for the guy. Of course, in Chopman's case, any severance would likely be literal. Severed limbs and all that. Blech. So kudos to Joey, not only for escaping that jigsaw-like scenario, but also for killing a man and walking away like it was the most trivial moment of his life. Seriously, it seems like being forced to wear a dog costume was a way more PTSD-inducing experience for him. At least now the spirits of the 10 dead Boy Scouts can rest easy, knowing their killer was burned alive by a random Brooklyn babysitter. Tune in tomorrow for yet another notch on the murder bedpost at the handsome hands of yours truly. We're hitting number 10 on my countdown, and remember, you better watch out, you better not cry, my opponents are highly likely to die. Pharaoh Claus has killed a gay clown. Weirdly, he's not on my list because I don't believe clowns count as people, so their deaths are immaterial. And whether you're in the shadow realm or the cold, heartless void that is reality, try to have a happy holiday season. Or else.